God bless America.
Thank you for protecting America. Thank you for serving our country.
Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for protecting us in our country. Thank you for your service. Thank you for fighting for our freedom.
Tamarack Elementary School Memorial Wall. This memorial wall is dedicated to all the brave men and women who have served or are serving in our military. Both living and deceased members of our TES family are lovingly remembered for their service to our country.
Paul Muncie, father-in-law of Miss Carrie Muncie. Joseph A. Dufour, private first class, father of Miss Ellen Fulkerson. Patrick L. Fulkerson, Army Reserve, father-in-law of Ellen and Sherry Fulkerson. Specialist Bradley Kuhn, soon-to-be dad of Ryan Boyd. James Boyd, grandfather of Ryan Boyd. Private First Class Bernard J. Mattingly, great-grandfather of Naomi Cavender. Sergeant Ernest Coleman Rager, great-grandfather of Tommy Rager. Larry Ernest Rager, great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Jimmy Ray Kilo, great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Delbert Eugene Jones, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Sally Eugene Jones, great-great-grandfather of Tommy Rager. Colonel Glenna Marie Jones, great-great-aunt of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Thomas Jackson Hester Sr., Army Air Corps, great-grandfather of Tommy Rager. Netter Hester, great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Specialist Scott Anderson, father of Amelia Anderson. Staff Sergeant Jennifer Posadas, Natalia and Sebastian Posadas. Sergeant Johnny R. Montgomery, Army Infantry, Big Red 1, Vietnam, father of Miss Angela Lindsay. Sergeant First Class Roy F. Pointer, father-in-law of Miss Melinda Gardner. Specialist E4 Chris Pointer, brother-in-law of Miss Melinda Gardner. Sergeant E5 Roy Pointer, stepson of Miss Melinda Gardner. Robert R. Gardner, uncle of Miss Melinda Gardner. Sergeant First Class Freddie Rowland, first cousin of Miss Melinda Gardner. Jack Millay, great-grandfather of Maddie Millay. Gene Head, great-grandfather of Maddie Millay. Sidney Wayne Peterson, father of Miss Cindy Gates. James Robert Gates, father-in-law of Miss Cindy Gates. Carter Roach, great-grandfather of Jackson and Peyton Cook. Master Sergeant Kathy Rosa E8, aunt of Annabelle and Benjamin Hayden. Sergeant First Class Jose Rosa, uncle of Annabelle and Benjamin Hayden. Barry Harley, grandfather of Nolan Blanford. Seth Culver, uncle of Nolan Blanford. Darlene LaMaster, Spec 4, sister of Miss Kelly Smith. Cheryl Clark, grandmother of Allie and Kylie Williams. Alex Crampy, father of Jackson and Eleanor Crampy. E4 Specialist Chris Goldman, father of Cohen and Kaylin Goldman. Bill Borman, grandfather of Brolin Wigington. Staff Sergeant James Homer Westerfield, Army Air Corps, grandfather of Scotty, James, and Mason Howard. Leon Carrico Sr., grandfather of Dylan Carrico. Charles Johnson, great-great-uncle of Jaden Mormon. Enos Dennis, great-grandfather of Jaden Mormon. Roy Dennis, great-uncle of Jaden Mormon. Gene Caraway, uncle of Carter Caraway. Scott Sword, uncle of Carter Caraway. Captain Gene Mattingly, Army Signal Corps, great-grand uncle of Emily Powell. Airman First Class Erlis Hudson, Army Air Force, great-grand uncle of Emily Powell. Tech Sergeant Howard Dame, great-grandfather of Emily Powell. Command Sergeant Major Lester Conover, great-grandfather of Emily Powell. Private Joy Conover, Army Women's Army Corps, great-grandmother of Emily Powell. Colonel John Klaus, grandfather of Men Best. Specialist Andrew Klaus, uncle of Men Best. Staff Sergeant Roy Gardner, father of Miss Kathy Calcaterra. Terrell Riley, Army National Guard, grandfather of Riley and Cy Hayden. Joe Mann, great-grandfather of Oliver Carden. Ray Carden, great-grandfather of Oliver Carden. Specialist 5, James Piper, Army Helicopter Aviation, father-in-law of Miss Katrina Piper. Jesse B. Sherman, great-grandfather of Kingston and Dylan Tutt. Duke W. Turnage, great-grandfather of Kaylin, Maddie, and Kyle Kiesler. Carl W. Leonard, grandfather of Miss Dawn King. Sergeant First Class Larry Sanchez Jr., uncle of Nia Morrison. Master Sergeant Ralph Gale Sr., grandfather of Nia Morrison. Staff Sergeant Larry Sanchez Sr., grandfather of Nia Morrison. Sergeant Casey Rusher E5, nephew of Miss Stephanie McCarty. Sergeant Charles Gray, great-grandfather of Grayson Chrisman. Sergeant Van Snyder, Marine 1st Airborne Division, father of Miss Cassie Chapman. Paul Willis, great-grandfather of Ryan Boyd. Private First Class Robert Rowan, grandfather of Reese and Liliana Rowan. Dustin Gardner, E4, nephew of Miss Melinda Gardner. Brent Hatfield, nephew of Miss Melinda Gardner. Josh Pointer, nephew of Miss Melinda Gardner. Caleb Bryan, grandson of Miss Melinda Gardner. Corporal Dwayne Tidwell, grandfather of Addison Ruby. E3 Lance Corporal Chris Goldman, father of Cohen and Kaylin Goldman. Lance Corporal Lee Goldman, uncle of Cohen and Kaylin Goldman. David Day, uncle of Carter Caraway. Dax Hill, uncle of Carter Caraway. Tristan Blythe, grandson of Miss Joanne Kaylin. Sergeant Mark Lejeune, father of Mason Lejeune. Master Sergeant Daryl Creaky, grandfather of Mason Lejeune. Herman Wayne Dahl, father of Miss McAtee. Robert Wilson, brother of Miss Peggy Wilson. George Stringer, great-grandfather of Ryan Boyd. Christopher Berry, uncle of Emily Powell. Bernard Payne, great-grandfather of Emily Powell. Petty Officer 2nd Class E5 Austin Jones, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Lieutenant Elzada Gwynn Jones, great-great-aunt of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Marion Ray Hester, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Michael Andrew Hester, second cousin of Tommy Rager. John Thompson, uncle of Miss Celeste Lawson. Tom Gardner, father of Miss Melinda Gardner. O.B. Gardner, uncle of Miss Melinda Gardner. Photographer's mate, Petty Officer 1st Class, grandfather of Jackson and Peyton Cook. Robert H. Anderson, father of Miss Kelly Smith. Lehman V. Wilson, great-grandfather of Bristol Hagan. Chris Caraway, brother of Carter Caraway. Seaman 1st Class Lonnie Smith, great-grand-uncle of Emily Powell. Seaman 1st Class Jean Dame, great-grand-uncle of Emily Powell. Petty Officer First Class Sam Abbott, great-grandfather of Damon Abbott. Second Petty Officer David Sweeney, uncle of Tyler Priest. Oliver Williams, grandfather of Kingston and Dylan Tutt. Quincy Harris, aunt of Kingston and Dylan Tutt. Seaman Apprentice Christian Morrison, brother of Nia Morrison. Jim Williams, grandfather of Kate Bean, father of Christy Bean. Devin Blythe, grandson of Miss Joanne Kalin. 5 Control Technician Seaman E3 Richard Leahy, grandfather of Mackenzie Wolf and Paisley Gillum. Seaman E3 David Wolf Sr., grandfather of Mackenzie Wolf. Jim Nall, uncle of Miss Celeste Lawson. Alex Benningfield, father of Isaiah and Ava Benningfield. James Bowers, great-grandfather of Ryan Boyd. Tech Sergeant Benjamin Mattingly, father and best dad of Audrey and Avery Mattingly. Benny Darrell Rager, great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Airman First Class Thomas Jackson Hester Jr., great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Patricia Ann Irwin, great-aunt of Tommy Rager. Sergeant Peter Michael Irwin, great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Tech Sergeant Bobby Pointer, stepson of Miss Melinda Gardner. Tech Sergeant retired Barry Spencer, father of Bella Wirtz and Chloe Taylor, uncle of Caden Kendall. Lieutenant Billy Mitchell, great-grandfather of Tatum Mantooth. Barrett Harley, uncle of Nolan Blanford. Bryson Harley, uncle of Nolan Blanford. Master Sergeant Sarah Quall, aunt of Jameson Autry. Tech Sergeant Joshua Quall, uncle of Jameson Autry. Chief Master Sergeant Paul Wright, grandfather of Layla Burden, Liam, and London Wright. Sergeant Larry D. Hicks, grandfather of Colton Hicks. Dale Caraway, grandfather of Carter Caraway. Matthew Caraway, uncle of Carter Caraway. Mike Kritzer, uncle of Oliver Carden. Erica Abbott, cousin of Oliver Carden. Lindsay Kritzer, cousin of Oliver Carden. Joe Bean, grandfather of Kate Bean, father-in-law of Christy Bean. Airman Michael Ferris, E2, nephew of Miss Stephanie McCarty. Master Sergeant James R. Masterson, uncle of Jackson Howard. Senior Airman E4 Ryan Yeckering, father of Evelyn and Joshua Yeckering and husband of Miss Gabby Yeckering. Richard Lawson, ex-husband of Miss Celeste Lawson. Heather L. Haynes, rank 5, daughter of Miss Ellen Fulkerson. Chief Warrant Officer Harold Mark Belt, uncle of Anna Kate Belt. Lehman V. Wilson, great-grandfather of Bristol Hagen. James Oliver Basinger, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Victor Basinger, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager. Joe Basinger, great-great-uncle of Tommy Rager.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come through to meet our thunder. Adam boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, setting her flame from under. Off with one terrible roar.
We live in fame, we go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Over hill, over dale, we have hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. Counter march right. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean.
We are proud to claim the title of United